better yet, I know people who are aware because we're expats, and there are other expats who are here, but their family's not. I know that you don't have meetings with Peter on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock because that's when he Skypes his family because they're getting ready to wake up and he talks to his wife and talks to his kids. And people respect that. Like, it's not just that it happens and that person has to fight for that time. Everybody understands it and they respect it. That's beautiful. I love that. And so my idea on family is different. Um, I guess not much more different than it was before, but the idea that you could have a space like that, like I didn't think that existed in the world. I didn't think there were places that really cared about family in that way, or they do, but it's only in your nuclear family at home, you know, after work. That it's not the everyday we have work to do, we are doing this, we are doing that, and if you need the additional support to be with your family, we'll provide it for you. People talk it, but they don't often back it up with action. And in Saudi Arabia, people talk it and there's action. And I love that. Home. My concept of home has evolved as I've evolved. I don't want to say it's changed. Well, it has changed, but it's not drastically different. It's just that I've made myself a home. I tend to live in places where I feel like I'm going to pack up and move, so I don't decorate, I don't really settle in, and I made a choice when I arrived here, thankfully due to some really amazing other expat women who told me, like, you're here, and even if you're only here for 2 years, or only here for 3 years, when you first arrive, you settle in, you make this home. Don't live in limbo because you'll spend all of your time kind of like, here, but not here. I'm gonna work, but I might leave, and it prevents you from really being comfortable in the space, and it prevents others from really wanting to connect with you. People come into my home all the time and go like, wow, like oh, you can't see it, but the painting that's here behind me is, like, it's just art. It's just that I have my own personal art in places. You've seen pictures where I have my family up. I really turned my house into a home. And on days when it's hard at work, at least when I come to my home, it feels like a home rather than company-sponsored living, which is what it would be otherwise. So I do recommend people who are moving out here, bring some things with you to make your house a home and make the effort in the first, maybe you wait your probationary period, wait your 90 days, whatever. But after that, settle in, spend a good 2 months of just what do I want the space to look and feel like, and go for it. It makes a huge difference on your psyche. And that brings me to having the ability to purchase things for my home, like artwork and furniture and stuff. Not everybody here has that. So I'm coming from the perspective of a Western expat. I'm coming from the perspective of an American expat. There are all sorts of other expats that are here that do not have the ability, cannot afford to decorate their living quarters, nor are their living quarters designed in such a way that they should be decorated. I'm just trying to put it as nicely as possible. The other day, I realized how privileged I am here. I am privileged. Being in Saudi Arabia is one of the few places in which I really do feel like I can stretch the entire luxury of my blue passport of being an American. Many people know that African Americans do say that we're African American. There's a whole lot of history there, and if you really want to delve into it, send me a message, we can chat. But being here, I'm not African American, I'm not Black American, I'm just American. And my salary is American. People do create, or salaries here are determined a great deal, by where you're coming from. And that's the place on your passport, not perhaps the last place you worked. That means that some people are here and they do make more than they would have made at home. but it may not. It's not. I mean, it's not a lot. Like, so a lot of the things that I'm able to do, the traveling, the buying clothes, the fact that I buy snacks, these are all things that come with the privilege of where I am, and there are people that don't have that privilege, and when they don't have that privilege, it shows up in other ways. I have witnessed people in the grocery store not able to buy the food that they want, and they're expats too, but they don't have it because they don't have the finances to do so, because where they work, they provide food and stuff for them, so they wouldn't need to, but not, no, not everybody likes to eat pre-canteened food. Sometimes you do want to cook for yourself. And sometimes these people just don't have that privilege to be able to do so. It also reminds me a lot of my ancestry, the people that came before me in the US to allow me to be where I am right now. And so when I encounter those moments, as best I can, in my own small way, I do my own thing, whether it's sometimes tipping the guys that clean up my house, giving them extra because what I pay, in my opinion, is just nothing. Tipping the guy at the gas station when I go, because filling up a car when it's my turn to pay may cost me like $5 US. Sorry guys, like $5. And so I don't mind chipping in a few extra dollars for that, or tipping when I go out to eat. And I know that you don't have to tip. Culturally, people don't tip in this country, and you have to be careful about how you do it, because you don't want to offend anyone, and not everybody does accept additional cash, but there are a lot of people here who are grateful for the little bit extra, and they take it. So that's privilege, and that's what's changed for me. It's the realization of how privileged I am. And I've always known that I'm privileged. Like, I know that I'm privileged. I'm a debutante. I got that. The additional layer of privilege here is what has changed for me. And part of my privilege allows me to travel. I would not travel and go to all these amazing places if I wasn't in Saudi Arabia, period. I would not have gone to see Beyonce in Paris to perform on a weekend. That just would not have happened. I have gone to Thailand. I've been to Beirut. I've seen parts of Saudi Arabia that I never would have seen, and I can't see now. Like, I love Najran. You all know that I love Najran. I can't go there right now. And I recognize that that's changed. I never would have gone. I'm happy to have gone, and I'm now hopeful that that region settles down enough and that things are safe enough, people that are there just for them first, and then as a tourist level 2, then I'd like to be able to return. But I do hope that things are stable enough for people to resume their education, their daily lives with less fear, no fear. I travel, and when I'm traveling, I shop. I do lots of shopping. I like shopping. Shopping has totally changed for me. So we kind of talked about the whole Halloween candy thing. Doesn't happen when I'm traveling. I don't buy stuff like that except for when I'm in Paris and I stock up on French butter. Don't ask questions. I love my French butter. And I do take a cooler and bring it back with me. But I never would have done that before. Nobody ever travels and buys things like butter. But expats in Saudi Arabia, we have our random things that we like, and whatever that is, you buy it, and you don't buy one. You tend to buy 3 or 5. 3 or 5. Odd numbers are great. And you just stack them all up, bring them all back, and you feel good. In the grocery store, when there is a cereal that I like, or chips that I enjoy, or there might be tea that I like, I will totally stock up on that too. And I would stock up in the US around this time of year in the fall, because I'm originally from the north and snowstorms are real and you might get trapped in your house, so you do stock your pantry. But you probably don't stock up the way that people like myself stock up now. I buy candles in bulk. Who buys candles in bulk? I do, because I'm afraid the store may not have them the next time I go back when I need it, so you just buy. And that makes it a really unique experience. I definitely would not have, I feel like a hoarder when I shop sometimes, like just the sheer amount of things that you buy, but then you don't go back to the store for a long time and it works itself out. The last thing I want to talk about, so the number one thing for me that has changed or grown since I've arrived in Saudi Arabia for myself is faith. I have had more prayers that I remember uttering in my last like 10 years of life. You know, hanging out with girlfriends or, you know, breaking up with a guy and just praying for this to be different. I prayed to be able to walk to work. I walked to work. I prayed to be in a space where my opinions and thoughts were not only heard but respected. I have that here. I prayed for a space to really come into my own. I'm really lucky that this space at this time has been created for me, and I believe it. I wanted to have friends from all around the world. I have friends from Belgium and China and from Lebanon and Zambia. I mean, I've made friends from all over the world by being here. And that for me is an exercise, and you put it out there and you receive it. And there isn't much more I can say than I know whatever faith thing you have for yourself, if you have one, you put things out, you do receive. And Saudi has taught me that that's true, 100%, all the time. And I love it. I love my life here. I'm very happy here. I also, this isn't forever. I will not be here forever. I can't be. I think the retirement age here is 60, like forced, and you go back home. I don't plan to be here and when I turn become a silver fox and all of this becomes nice and white. I'm hopefully going to be somewhere else. But I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not really worried about that today. Today, I just wanted to make a note that these things about myself have changed, or at least I've realized them, or I'm doing more, and people keep asking for longer videos. So this is like a half hour. You sat with me for a half hour. I really hope you had some tea or a snack. My tea's cold now. It's okay, I'll heat it up. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I will hopefully do a few more videos, probably today, because I'm actually thinking about it, and I'll post them. Bye!